almost ready to go here then. Red lights go out. Away we go then. Good start by Jack Ashton in the Metro. He's got his nose in front of Ryan Polly's Honda as they go up towards the first corner. Jamie Martin, you can see jinking out in his more modern Civic as they head up towards the first corner, but it's certainly the Metro with Ashton's written in big letters on the side of it that's through in the first corner. So Ashton's leading the way at the moment from Ryan Polly in second place. But we need to sort out what's happening with our championship contenders as well. It looks like Camp's there in third.
Yeah, not a good start for Phil Wright. He's down to something like sixth. There's David Drinkwater. He's got through the hairpin, which was one of his concerns when we spoke to him, so he's done that okay. We'll catch up on him later. There's Jack Chapman. He hasn't really gained much time yet in the ZR. There's the Nissan Almera, another different shape out there, another great looking car in Super Touring livery. Here's Phil Wright trying to go around the outside of Stuart Window for fifth. They've both been passed by Chris Smith at the start of this race, who started well. The Class B leaders there were side by side. That was Paul Jarvis, former champion, ahead. Is David Drinkwater still leading Class C? He's got class rivals around him because of the quick starting Saxo behind him. That must be Martin Paget, I reckon. Anyway, we'll catch up on them in a bit, but it's Jack Ashton that leads. Ryan Polly is going with him. Then Ali Camp, who's done most of winning this year with 7 victories, isn't able to go with them. He seems to be a bit off the pace in qualifying, and again, not quite so quick at the start of this race, but of course there's plenty of time to sort all of that out. And is that David, let's move second place in Class C. I think Paul Warren having his first run out in that compact was side by side with Martin Paget. But up front, it is the Metro that leads of Jack Ashton.
It is. So Ashton ahead at the moment with Ryan Polly in second place. Then you've got Ali Camp in third place. And just behind him is Chris Smith in the number 18 Honda Civic Type R in fourth position from Longfield down there near Brands Hatch. And then fifth and sixth, you've got Stuart Window, the local driver, number 82. From Brandon there in fifth position at the moment, just about to appear into the back of shot. There he is, and is that Phil Wright that he's got challenging him? Oh, Ali Camp is very sideways. He's off the circuit at Murray's. He gets back onto the circuit. Phil Wright's got ahead for fifth place of Stuart Window, by the way, on the way into Murray's, but has Camp managed to hold on to his third position over the line? He just about has from Chris Smith, but those two cars are more or less alongside over the line. It's still Jack Ashton leading, Ryan Polly in second, and then Camp and Smith, they're quite a long way behind the leaders now, about 3 seconds off the Jack Ashton car at the moment, because that was a mistake there from Ali Camp, which has managed to catch, but he's going to lose a place here. Chris Smith up the inside of him in the number 18 car into the hairpin at Wilson, and Ali Camp, this is not what he needs at all, back down to fourth position.
Looks like the race clock started slightly early, so I think what we're having on our screens is not quite accurate, I'm afraid. So the time of this race did start a little bit early. It probably won't make much difference how many laps we actually get in. But here are the leaders. Jack Ashton ahead of Ryan Polly into Agostini. There's lots of local drivers in this race. So when Paul Jarvis, I think, who was leading Class B, is stopping. Yeah, he was leading Class B in his Citroen Saxo, only just from Michael Dwayne. He's off the road. And he's back on again, so not sure if there was an incident at all there, but
a spin, yeah.
He's back in the race in Class C. It is David Drinkwater that is leading, so getting the points that he needs out of this. But for the lead, Ryan Polly is all over the back of Jack Ashton's Metro. That's going much better, I think we're fair to say, than we've seen him go so far this season. And Phil Wright's up to fourth and on the tail of Alistair Camp. So where was Chris Smith?
Well, that's the one. Oh, yeah, he's just there in fifth position, but it was the question I was asking myself as well, because he was in third place, wasn't he? He's dropped back now, but here comes Ryan Polly. He jinks to the right-hand side of Jack Ashton. Round the outside, he tries to go at Brundle. Can he do it? No, he can't do it. He's still alongside, though, as they go through the right-hander at Nelson. Jack Ashton in the Metro. Ryan Polly in the Honda. The inside line for Ryan Polly through the right-hander at the bomb hole, but Jack Ashton in that Metro is pluckily still holding on towards Coram. They go, and I think here Ryan Polly might get it. They're still side by side through this long right-hander, and then up towards Murray's they go. And who's going to emerge? It's Polly that gets the lead away. A protracted move there that took about a third of a lap, but Ryan Polly goes through.
Behind, Alistair Camp's gone way off the road this time, so Alistair Camp in the background. I don't know if he'll be able to hang on to third this time, but Jack Ashton still trying to challenge back. He's right in the toe of Ryan Polly. The Metro's not slow in a straight line, is it? Camp has lost third, by the way, to Phil Wright, but for the lead of the motor race, it is Ryan Polly that is in front just about of Jack Ashton. So, yeah, the Metro's not slow in a straight line. He was a little bit worried about that with a long straight around Snetterton. It hasn't really really affected him. But Ryan Polly is in front then. I say another local driver, isn't he, to Snetterton, not far away. I think based at Cambridge, but it's Ashton there in second place, and he's not giving up on this just yet, Ian.
He's certainly not. Just to very quickly explain for viewers, the red classes on your timing tower are Class A, the blue squares are Class B, and the green are Class C. And on the left-hand side, the positions, green and red, when they flash up colour, that indicates a change of position up or down the order respectively. So it's still Ryan Polly holding on with this race onto its third lap now from Jack Ashton in second place, who it's, I mean, they're both in Class A cars, but it always feels like it's a giant killing act for Jack Ashton because, well, the cars are physically bigger, they're more modern, the cars around him. But Jack Ashton does a great job. The 73 car, by the way, of Adam Croft, his Peugeot 205 has been in the pits for reasons I know not why, but he's going back out again.
Two leaders being caught by Phil Wright at a rapid rate. I know they were battling, but Phil Wright is flying along here. He's qualified third. He's back into third after a slow start, and Phil Wright, yet another local driver to Snetterton. It was a bit like that in the Stockhatch days as well, wasn't it? So the cars turn their way up the Bentley straight, and Polly here perhaps is better out of Williams. That's where he managed to get the lead earlier. So he's just got a bit of a bigger margin now over Jack Ashton, that turns his way through the S's. The car bounces over the curbs. They come out of Nelson. But behind, Ali Camp is falling to clutch his Stuart Window. I think we might have to look at the calculations to see if David Drinkwater actually can do it in this race, because Camp's race is absolutely not going to plan.
It's really not, is it? So here are the leaders then. At Coram on lap 3, Ryan Polly, Jack Ashton and Phil Wright, the three of them around together now. Then you've got Camp just in the background of shot. He was heading into Murray's as well. What we didn't see is if he went wide on the exit from Murray's, as he has done to a greater or lesser extent on the previous lap. He's still there, but he's being put under pressure by Stuart Window now. He doesn't need to lose another position here, as Stuart Window is getting ahead as they go into Rich's by the looks of it. So I just wonder if all is well with Camp's car this weekend. He dropped back down to 5th position, and that's more crucial points lost.
The lead, Jack Ashton, has he got the lead here away from Ryan Polly?
Polly has vanished, hasn't he? Or has Polly gone further up the road?
He's pulled off. No, he's pulled off. Ashton was challenging into Richie's, but yeah, he didn't get that done. But Ryan Polly's pulled off on the exit of Richie's, so the mighty Metro is back in front, and he uses all the grass on the inside of Palmer. That was all rather BTCC, but he manages to keep ahead of Phil Wright. He's really got a chance here to win the race. He just got the fastest lap, I think a new lap record, 2 minutes 10.2. By the way, I don't think the championship can be won in this race. I think that is impossible, but it's very much going the way of David Drinkwater, who's still lead Class C, but for the lead of the race, Ian.
Phil Wright was sort of tucked in behind. He's had to jink to the right-hand side through Hamilton because I think he was a bit quicker than Jack Ashton. He's going to have the inside line for Rockies now. This is number 63, Phil Wright. He's on the inside line. Jack Ashton on the outside line, but Phil Wright squeezes through on the inside and takes the lead of the race. So Phil Wright it is that is looking for his 4th race victory of the season. He squeezes through into the lead.
He has got damage though, and the bumper is rubbing on the tyre, so I think that happened a bit earlier on, and was that going to harm him as this race carries on? But how this is going, Phil Wright could buy himself into the Class A Championship lead battle against Ali Camp, really, couldn't he?
Absolutely.
And Stuart Window's having a great race. He's there in third and going after the top two. Ashton trying to fight back there into Brundled, right on the bumper of Phil Wright. Yeah, Stuart Window, Ali Camp, they're both now with the top two, so it's really 4 for the lead in this. It is absolutely cracking stuff from the Hot Hatch Championship. And you know, there's more smoke, isn't there, coming off that tyre of Phil Wright, and it's got to last another few laps because we've still got about 5 minutes of it to go, so 2, maybe 3 laps left in this.
But I mean, Stuart Windows found 3 seconds on this lap to catch these two. I mean, I think possibly, I just wonder if Ashton made a bit of a mistake coming out of Agostini, which is where sort of Phil had to sort of jink to one side and eventually got the move done sort of as a result of all of that. But here we go, side by side now for second place, and Stuart Window, that Integra's got a lot of pace in a straight line, hasn't it? He's gone through into second place now, and he's done a 2:11.35, which is only just outside the Tony Perfect lap record, a 2:11.14, but the best lap of the race, a 2:10.22 for Phil Wright. That is the new lap record. But Stuart Window here, we don't see very much of him these days. He's done some Stockhatch racing in the past, but he's flying here, back under a bit of pressure again from Jack Ashton in the Metro. And of course, Ali Camp right there as well still.
Class B, that's been led by Michael Duane by just 3 tenths of a second over Neil Stringfellow, who's I think about to take the championship for the class. Alistair Camp's trying to get positions back here. He's trying to get himself ahead of Jack Ashton. They've got that slow 205 that I think's been the pitch twice to lap. So another retro hatchback out there. But the top 6 cars separated by less than 5 seconds because Chris Smith and Jamie Martin are not far behind. The Class C runners come through, and it's David Drinkwater leading there by 6 seconds from Paul Warren, who's having a great debut performance in this compact that he only bought a few days ago. And then Wayne Shackelford is third in his Citroen Saxo.
Stuart Window in second place, Jack Ashton in third, Alistair Camp in fourth, Chris Smith there you can see in 5th position as well, number 18, and Jamie Martin in 6th place. Not too far behind. It's actually top 6 covered by less than 5 seconds at the end of the first 4 laps, so about 12 miles of racing here. Really close stuff, and it's only Philip Wright now just starting to get away a little bit, but as you say, he has got that damage. Is that going to come back and bite him in the later stages of this race? Now Camp on the inside there of Ashton's Metro as they went into Brundle. That's 70.89 Ashton and 45 Camp, but I think it looked like it was Ashton that just about hung on. So right it is with 3 minutes of this race to go, so they'll get 2 more laps out of this one as they come up to the line this time. It's going to be Phil Wright, 63, leading by a much bigger margin at the end of this lap, because it was 4/10 at the start of the lap, and it's going to be a second or so, I think, as he goes on to lap 6.
Yeah, I think they are going to squeeze in 2 more laps in this race, so I don't think that early start's actually going to affect how many laps we get in. So it'll be another 7-lap race here in these 15-minute encounters. And it is Phil Wright that leads by over 2 seconds now. And it was more of a slow lap for Window more than anything, because it wasn't the greatest of laps I've seen from Phil Wright, but it was quick enough for him to extend his margin. The top 6, you could see they're way ahead of anybody else. About of a second into the hairpin. Stuart Window, now he's got past Jack Ashton, can't get away, and Ashton using the lighter Metro, and he weighs just over 800 kilograms. So really nimble there through the hairpin, but wasn't really able to do much in the end. And if anything, it's Alistair Camp that's coming strong here, isn't it, and trying to get himself back onto the podium positions as they turn their way then up towards Agostini. There's Chris Smith, who's been having a good season, and then in 6th place Jamie Martin. The rest a long way behind. It's Sean Green ahead of Chris McCloy. Then the Class B leaders, which are still only separated by 0.2 of a second. Perhaps we'll catch up on them. Behind these 2, Michael Duane and Neil Stringfellow, the Class B leaders. Yeah, we're going to wait for them to see if it's Peugeot or Renault in front of the Peugeot's gone through, hasn't it? Neil Stringfellow's got ahead of Michael Duane, who's on his return to racing this weekend. Neil Stringfellow's going to win the Class B championship here, but he'd like to win the race, and Duane locks up on the outside line in the Clio. So it's the retro Peugeot that goes to the front, but perhaps a bit wide, Ian.
Yep, looks like it says that Clio's back through, isn't it, on the inside as they approach Hamilton. So a good battle going on for 9th and 10th overall in the Class B lead. I don't think it's going to make too much consequence as far as the Class B Championship is concerned. That looks like it's still going to go to Neil Stringfellow. He only needed to finish at least 2nd in this race to guarantee that, come what may. But Duane is just pulling out a few car lengths now as they head through the right-hander at Williams onto the Bentley straight.
If we remember, Paul Jarvis went off while leading early. He has got the fastest lap in Class B, so he might be a factor in those races tomorrow. But of course, he's a bit further behind. Here come the Class B leaders again to the end of the lap. I think there's some changes up front overall, Ian.
Yeah, I can see that Alistair Camp's through into 3rd place now, so he's ahead of Jack Ashton. It's going to be last lap board out now for Phil Wright, so he goes on to start his last lap, and it's Stuart Window 2nd, Ali Camp 3rd, so that could be important for the championship. Jack Ashton 4th, and 5th Chris Smith, but we're still watching this Class B lead battle. So Neil Stringfellow in this first of 3 races this weekend is going to probably finish 2nd in Class A, but that'll be enough to wrap up the Class B championship. He's only won the class on 4 occasions so far this season. Andrew Ashton, Dan Gibbs and Matt Creed have been the other winners within that class. And
they're side by side now, so Neil Stringfellow on the left-hand side of the racetrack, Michael Duane on the right-hand side of the track as they cross the line in the 172 Clio, 777 the number, just about nosing in front. A car that's, what, a decade and a half newer than the Peugeot as they turn their way through Ritchie's. Not far behind them is Tate Taverner, having his debut in Hot Hatch after racing in Type R Trophy this year, using that car, I think, here this weekend. But it's Duane back ahead, therefore, then, of Neil Stringfellow. This has been a good battle in Class B. So we had some great racing in Class A early on, some good racing in Class B, but in Class C, It's David Drinkwater that's dominating proceedings, but a change for second there because Wayne Shackelford's got himself ahead of Paul Warren.
Now on screen, this is the fight for fourth position. Chris Smith it is that is attacking Jack Ashton there. They're heading up towards Williams, and I think he's gone through on the inside. Chris Smith in the red and blue Honda, the purple and white Rover Metro of Jack Ashton just tucks it back in behind Chris Smith now. So at one point was looking good for a win for Jack Ashton. It has faded away. I think you said in the intro, Josh, that he starts the race well, but perhaps can't maintain that all the way through the race. There's a change for second, and that could be crucial in the championship at Brundle. Through has gone Ali Camp. So a strange race for him. He sort of faded away throughout fifth or sixth position. He's come back to second place here. He's not going to catch Phil Wright because there's 4.9 seconds or so between them, but it's a good comeback this from Camp, and keeps him very much in the championship.
Yes, it's not quite as problematic as it might have been. But for Phil Wright, this has been a good race, hasn't he? He didn't make a good start. He was down in sixth at one point, but this is going to be a fourth win of the season. It's been a good second half of the year for him. He won at Brands Hatch, he won at Silverstone, he won at Alton Park, and now he wins at Snetterton. But for second place, it's four cars together here, Ian.
And over the line first is going to come Ali Camp, but it's just going to be Chris Smith that gets third place on the line. I think Stuart Window had a problem towards the end. He missed a gear. He did come across the line in fourth, but only 3/10 ahead of Jack Ashton.
There's a wheel.
Someone's lost a wheel. Now that's rolling off into the field. Now I don't know where it's rolled from.
It's gone a long way in the field, hasn't it?
Off into the ditch. Now where's the car? Well, that shows you the momentum. It's the Clio. And which one is that? It's the, is that the 137 Zach Irving car, I think, that's now a three-wheeled Clio.
And for the Class B win across the line in, it's side by side, and Michael Drain just takes it. That was out of sight, but 700th of a second, Michael Drain beat Neil Stringfellow. That wheel, I don't think it's property in the part of property of Snetterton anymore, is it? It's so far off the out of the venue. But for Class C, that's soon going to come through. That's going to be David Drinkwater to win, and that's going to be a step closer, isn't it, for the overall championship, looking for 3 in a row. He turns his way through Coram Curve at the moment, and somebody that's raced at Nürburgring and Le Mans this year, David Drinkwater. He likes coming back to do 750 Motor Club racing, perhaps because he wins a lot.
Yeah.
He comes out of Murray's End, and here he comes then into shot, and another win for David Drinkwater will put him that bit closer to the championship, because now that extends his lead out to 8 points heading into tomorrow from Alistair Camp, with Phil Wright chasing after Camp, just 11 points between those two in the Class A championship.
Yeah, so exciting times there. I think just behind David Drinkwater there was the car that started at the back of the grid, which was the Jack Chapman Rover, sorry, the MG I should say, ZR. Started at the back, came through to 21st position. There you can see the cars being flagged in at the end of the race into the Interpark Ferme.
I think Phil Wright's out of contention for the overall championship now, so that's Drinkwater versus Camp, but he's still in contention for the Class A title.
Let's have a look at the results. 6.1 seconds was the victory margin for number 63, Philip Wright. Second place, good comeback drive from number 45, Alistair Camp. Third place, number 18, Chris Smith, snatching it on the line from number 82, Stuart Window, who missed a gear. Fifth, there was 79, Jack Ashton in the Metro, first non-Honda. Sixth was number 2, JB Martin. Seventh, number 37, Chris McCloy. Eighth, number 33, Sean Green. Then over the line together, separated by 700ths, were 777, Michael Dwayne, and 74, Neil Stringfellow. That was for the Class B victory. Tate Taverner, third in Class B and 11th overall. Then Alan May, Tom Hall, and Andrew Ashton, 14th in the Rover. I think it was a Metro rather than a 216 as showed on screen. Leon Shepherd 15th, then Stephen Harrison, Paul Jarvis after a first or second lap spin, William Murphy, Daniel Cogswell, and Class C winner and champion David Drinkwater. Further back, the 501 as it's shown on screen, that was the car of Jack Chapman, I think, in 21st. Then Wayne Shackelford, Paul Warren, David Knight, Paul Keynes, Chris Woods, David Measday, Stuart Kennedy, Jerry Frost, and Alex Martin rounding out the top 30. Head of Emilio Lucchesa, John Hobbs, Matt McCarthy in the Fiesta, Olivia Martin a bit further back than she would normally be in the Compact. Then Julian Nelson, Zach Irvin, he lost his wheel, didn't he? And we're getting to the retirements, Ryan Parley, Adam Croft, Jared Coulson, etc. So that's the results of the first of 3 races this weekend for the PBS Brakes Hot Hatch Championship. Still more races to come here at Snetterton this afternoon for F1000s, Classic Stock Hatch, Clios, BMWs, and the RLM Racing Bike Sports Championship. So lots still to come between now and around about 6 o'clock this evening. But we've got cars filtering into Parc Fermé, and I can see that getting ready to speak to us down there is Matt Suckling, and he's going to speak to our race winner, Phil Wright. So, Matt, it's down to you once again.
Thanks very much, Ian. Yep, down here with our race winner from that Hot Hatch Championship encounter is winner Phil Wright. Phil, that was good stuff there. Great fight, I think, amongst 5 cars, and you came out on top.
Yeah, we got a good start and then struggled finding 3rd and 4th for the first lap, dropped back down to 6th or 7th, and then had to come back through. But yeah, we needed that for the championship, so.
Yeah, I think it keeps you in contention for Class A. Not quite the overall, but Class A is definitely on the tables for tomorrow. A little bit of damage to the left front as well. What happened there?
Yeah, poor Ryan Polly, who was leading at this point. I think he's broke down mid-turn 1, and obviously I was unsighted behind the Metro and found him in the front of the car, bless him, but I hope he's all right. I've been too serious anyway.
Yeah, a little bit of work for you to do this evening on that car, but 2 more races to come tomorrow. You need to win them, theoretically, to finish ahead of Ali, who's right behind you as always, but it should be a good couple of races.
Yeah, we could have done with the Metro and the Integra stand in between. I keep seeing him coming in the mirror, but we'll do what we can do. It's all I can do. And
it seems like the Honda does well here at Snetterton. Long straight, stretch the legs.
Yeah, it does perform well. I was surprised how quick that Metro was in a straight line. He's found some horsepower from somewhere.
You looking forward to tomorrow?
Yeah, can't wait for tomorrow. We've got sponsors coming down, Ransom Evans Property Management and Vertex Architecture, so it'd be nice to have them with us here, and obviously the main sponsor, Dad, so it's good.
Keeps you going. Well done, Phil. Congratulations.
Cheers.
There we go then, Phil Wright, our winner. Let's try and grab a quick word if we can with Ali Camp, who's just round here. Ali, do you want to come and join us quickly? 2nd place in that race, you put as much pressure on as possible there. How do you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was good fun. Made a few mistakes, but we knew, like I said, I just need to finish behind Phil, so that was the mission. Once seeing Phil going through, I thought just got to follow as much as we can, but no, it was a good race. Really enjoyed it.
It was fun to watch. Lots going on around you, lots behind, lots in front. You were trying to play catch up at certain points as well, but 2nd place, solid points.
Yeah, definitely. Really happy with that.
And I think you're still in it with the overall championship as well. You're fighting Class C man David Drinkwater.
Yeah, that's it. So loads to look out for, but obviously we're here to enjoy ourselves and have a good weekend. So
it's good stuff. Well done.
Thank you.
There we go, and let's have a quick chat if we can. David's here, actually. We'll have a quick chat with David, winner of Class C once again. David, that was a good race for you. What was happening throughout that one?
Yeah, it was a good race. Thankfully, we got through the start. You know, it's always a pinch point at the hairpin, so that was nice to get through there with no issues, no damage, no nothing. So, unlike last year. So, yeah, it was a bit of a gap then, spread out, and they were battling behind, which slowed them up, which gave me a bit of a gap, and I was away. That was it. Awesome.
And that's what you need this weekend. You need to be clean. You need to be kind of gain those points for the championship. Were you aware of what was happening up front with the Class A?
No, but I know they're all competitive, and Ali's going to be up there in the top 3 or 4, whatever. I think he finished 2nd, I think he said. So, yeah, I needed 3 wins from the weekend. Fastest laps if I can get them. But, you know, I'll just take the wins, and I think that should be enough. But we'll still to play for tomorrow.
That's it. We're looking forward to that. 2 great races to look forward to. Well done today, David.
Cool. Thank you very much.
There we go. David Drinkwater, our Class C winner. I think that's all we've got time for down here. Very busy, as you said. Really, really big grid. One of the biggest of the weekend for the Hot Hatch Championship. On the way next, though, we're going to turn our attention to the Swallow Home Hills F1000 Championship. First of 3 races for them this weekend as well.